Vinyl community, how's everybody doing? I'm doing pretty well. Thought I'd do another video here. I got another handful of records since the last video made, I don't know, a month ago or so. I got a stack of 10 here I'd like to show you guys. There's some, I'm going to start off with a few new records, and then there's some kind of funny hip-hop records in here, and then some other used stuff. And then the last one I'm going to show is amazing find for me. So it's a grail find, so I'm very excited to find this. I got some good stuff since last time I saw you guys, so thanks for watching, those of you who checked out my last video. I got a few watchers, so a few views, so I'm excited about that. So right now I'm listening to Floating Points. This is a new album. Floating Points is an electronic musician, English guy, I think. This was recommended by my local record shop, and this is kind of a blind buy. I've never heard of him before, but it's really good. It's not all electronic. The opening track here, there's some jazzy bass and some electric guitar. Almost Pink Floyd, this track, but this record's all over the place. There's crazy synth stuff, and there's some more ambient stuff on here. You just gotta listen to it. Try it on YouTube, see if you like it. Came with a really cool booklet, some great pictures in here. They visited the Mojave Desert, apparently. There's some info on this, and they were inspired by how pretty it was, and it kind of is, you can tell it influenced the sound, and the title, Reflections, Mojave Desert. So check it out. I am enjoying it. Next up, new one, Coldplay, Russia Blood to the Head. Not a huge Coldplay fan, but this one's worth it, I think, getting. This is the early 2000s, 2002, Parlophone Records. This is good stuff. They were always kind of a pop band, but I didn't think they overdid it on this one. This is a good album. Now this one's really cool. Tool. Progressive rock, progressive metal. Of course, if you've ever listened to Tool. This is Lateralis, released 2001. This is my favorite Tool album, one of my favorite bands. Phenomenal stuff. This is a nice, this has nice picture discs. Pretty cool. Pretty creepy. Pretty cool. There you go. Check that out. Happy I found this at a decent price. Usually it's out of my range for what I'm going to spend on. I'm just glad I found it for cheaper. Next up, here's a couple funny ones. One of my local record stores had a whole bin of something a DJ dropped off. Must have retired from DJing, and I looked through it and I grabbed a couple. These are only like, you know, $2 a piece, I think, maybe $3 a piece. But and of course he wrote all over it. But here's the thong song, Cisco. 2000. It's just funny to have. I don't take it too seriously. It's just funny to have. But for a couple bucks, go for it. Next, another hip-hop record. This is actually a great song. This is Next Episode. Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg. Good track. These are both in great shape. Even though he wrote all over them, I can deal with that. And that's a promotional copy, of course. There's a lot of promo copies in there for the DJs and whatnot. This next one, this is an older record. I was digging through the dollar bins at one of my local record stores, and I grabbed a copy of what I thought was a copy of Little Feat, Dixie Chicken. I didn't have that record. And I didn't look too carefully. And that's not what was inside. Inside was Audience. The House on the Hill. So I opened it and I was kind of bummed out. I said, shit, I didn't even look carefully enough. It's not even the right record. Might as well throw it on. Some of you guys are probably familiar with this stuff. But turned out I love this. Audience. I gotta find a cover now. I gotta find a sleeve for it. Early 70s, 1971 or 2, somewhere in there. How to describe this band? It's a little bit progressive rock. It's a little bit of your typical classic rock. It's a little psych. I highly recommend checking out the song Jackdaw. Check that out on YouTube. When I heard that song, I couldn't believe how eerily similar his voice was to Chris Cornell, who had just passed when I heard this, and it blew me away. Of course, Chris Cornell came after this guy, but that song, Jackdaw, it blew me away. But this is really good stuff. Audience. Let me know if you guys... I know some of you guys listen to all their stuff. I had never heard of them. Some early punk. Or late 70s. 78, 79, somewhere in there. Fingerprints. I had heard of these guys, but I never really listened to them. And I saw it at the record store pretty cheap, so I grabbed it. And again, I love this. The Very Dab. Closed Circuit Connection. Punchy Judy. Tough Luck. Fantastic songs on this. I think I liked every song on this. A lot of you guys have listened to this. This seems pretty underrated to me. This was great, and I don't really hear a lot of, magazines or music critics. I think I have seen this a couple times, maybe on some of your videos, but I don't hear about this stuff that much. This is fantastic. I think this was their first album. Someone correct me if I'm wrong on that, but Fingerprints. Check it out if you like early punk, English band, English punk, 1978. Check it out. Another classic rock record here. I grabbed. This was $1 somewhere. It was at the thrift store, I guess. I found it. This is the only one I found from the thrift store, and I figured why not. I always knew Blinded by the Light. This is Manfred Mann. This is Earth Band. The Roaring Silence. Cool cover. It wasn't in too bad a shape. For $1, it's worth it. And it's okay. I don't love it. I like the song, obviously Blinded by the Light, who, as you guys probably know, Bruce Springsteen wrote that song. There's a version of it. I think it's on live at Asbury Park. Pretty good as well. You gotta love the synthesizer on this version too. And there's There's a couple other songs I liked on this. I don't love it, like I said. Singing the Dolphin Through, I like that song too. It's worth $1. Up next, I got a couple more I'm going to show you here. 2 more. I do have some other records to show, but I didn't want to make a really long video, so I'll probably make another one soon-ish. I got this one for $7.99. Superfly, Curtis Mayfield. I've been looking for this for a while, so I'm happy to get this. Curtis Mayfield, excellent funk, soul, classic songs on this. The Pusher Man, of course, title track, Superfly. This, of course, was a soundtrack for a movie. Good stuff. Curtis Mayfield. Last but not least, in fact, last but best, this is actually kind of a record find of a lifetime for me, I think. Now, this was $14.99 at the record store, and I figured it was probably like a 80s reissue or something. For that price. And I'm not really familiar with the old, what year is what label looks like, but A Love Supreme, John Coltrane. This is a 1965 stereo version. So this thing's, it should have been a lot more money. I got this for $14. This is on the old Impulse label there. I looked this up on Discogs and I had it nailed down to a couple different versions. It looks like it's a first pressing or very shortly thereafter. 1965 USA pressing, like with that original label. So, like I said, all-time classic album, and I got it for what it is, next to nothing. This is kind of a cherished album in my collection now. Very happy to find this. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll probably be back soon. Like I said, I have another handful of albums. Just stuff I've gotten over the last couple months, and I haven't talked about them at all, so I wanted to show those. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it. If you enjoy it, subscribe. Have a great day.